Well, good morning and happy Monday to you. As you are just waking up this morning, or maybe you've been up for a couple of hours, we're ready to give you some hope. And that is the biggest message I heard in church yesterday: inspiration and light and a new day. It's been a very rough week, I know. And for any of you that are still struggling, we're here for you. That's the thing. This community has to really band together. And I don't mean from my immediate community, I mean this world as a nation. We're going to talk about faith today. We're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about incredible music with a very dear friend of mine that I've known for a long, long time. I started personal training her when she was just 14 years old, and I just love to see the young woman that she has become. And that younger generation, that is who I really want to target, because you are our future leaders. And we're going to talk a little bit about what happened, obviously, last week, but how our Gen Z and our millennial generations are really stepping up. The amount of people that were in church yesterday just truly brought tears to my eyes for hope. Again, sadness and joy. So many emotions. And for all of you, please feel free to drop in any comments of how you're feeling this morning, because we need to be here for each other as a community. So we're going to get in some news you can use. We'll give you the latest as a roundup from last week into the weekend for anything you may have missed locally and nationally, some sports news, and then the day of calendar. But before we do all of that, it has been oppressively hot. Woo, it was hot yesterday. We went out to see a dear friend of mine play music, and it was, I left and I was like, 100 degrees? Was that real? Well, we'll find out. Our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore, is on deck with a segment we call What the Weather.
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is a beautiful one.
Brought to you by GradeWorks LLC. I was just talking to Mike Vernacey last week and telling him I wanted him to come over and see some things that he could do on our property. And I want you to do the same thing. Again, whether it's personal or business, GradeWorks has so many levels of things they can do. That's just some recent pictures of removing a structure that, again, if you tried to do that manually by yourself, it'd be a lot of man hours. Let him do it. He's got the equipment to do so and the experience. I just love to see what he's doing for our community, whether it be on the highways, on the roads, or again at your home. Excavating work, grading work, they can do all of that for you. Check them out online. There's their website, gradeworksmo.com. That's gradeworksmo.com. Again, he's part of our What the Weather segment and furthering the education of our dear friend Beckett Moore. Let me say good morning to Beckett. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was good, but it was hot. I mentioned we went out to Kimswick yesterday. My friends thought I was nuts. They're like, "You're going to go see music outside?" And I was like, "Yeah, they had a tent. They had stuff around us. It was okay." But when I left Beckett, it said it was 100 degrees. Did we actually reach that?
We didn't reach 100 degrees, but the heat index got very close. So it was definitely very hot this weekend.
The car thought it was 107 at one point. All right, so everybody's been saying, come on, please, can we break this? You were mentioning maybe not till the end of September.
Yeah, we're going to stay in the 90s for most of this week, but then we do drop back into the 80s, but still expecting above average temperatures because our average high this time of the year is 81, and we're not expecting that anytime soon.
Yeah, it's just been absolutely crazy. Again, this up and down weather. A lot of people told me they were going to swim. And I was like, yep, it was a great weekend to do so. So let's find that out, Beckett. As we head into this week and next weekend, let's see if it's time to keep those pools open or closed. Here's Beckett.
Yeah, so looking at the current conditions right now, already 73 degrees out there, sunny as the sun rises in the east with 7-mile-per-hour wind. Our sunset tonight at 7:09. Bus stop forecast already showed you the morning. This afternoon, mostly cloudy skies as we have increasing cloud cover across the area with a high of around 93 degrees. And then finally, our 7-day outlook, low of 69 tonight. Tomorrow, we're looking at pretty much the same thing, except not as much cloud cover with those sunny skies with a high near 92. Staying in the low 90s for Wednesday and Thursday, keeping that sunshine. But then we do have some rain chances by Friday and Saturday. We do need that rain as we are in a little bit of a drought here in the St. Louis area, but cooling back down into the 80s by the end of the week.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
When did we say a fall officially starts?
Later in September.
Later
Yeah,
in
so
September.
about a
All right,
week.
my friend. Well, have a great day at school, and we'll talk to you again on Friday.
Sounds good.
Okay, that's Beckett Moore. Follow him again on X and on YouTube, giving us the weather. And eventually, I Promise you, it will start to get cooler. And then, of course, everybody will be complaining about how cold it is. All right, as we mentioned, I'm there with you. We all felt the darkness of last week, and I wanted to give you the latest on Charlie Kirk. Again, a memorial held yesterday, and we start off talking about the date that has now been set for Charlie's memorial as the details are emerging from the investigation. Again, as they had talked about originally of the killer. Now, the memorial itself set for those that were looking to go. It will be State Farm Stadium in Glendale on September 21st. The doors will open at 8 a.m. The program starts at 11 a.m. Kirk was killed by a single shot in what police said was a targeted attack, with Utah Governor Spencer Cox calling it a political assassination. According to Kirk's Turning Point USA organization, the funeral will be held at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. He co-founded the nonprofit political organization Turning Point USA, based in Arizona. He had been speaking at that debate hosted by Turning Point at the time of the shooting on Wednesday. Authorities again arrested 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, and still so much to come from that investigation as to why. That is the biggest question everybody is asking, why. And yesterday, the halls were filled and tissues were passed row by row as mourners filled the Kennedy Center for a very emotional memorial. Hundreds gathered. Ushers moved through the rows, handing out the tissues and guiding people to their seats. People were seen wearing shirts and pins with the word freedom. They sat and they watched an American flag draped slowly from the balcony as the event started. Little children were seen running up and down the aisles as their parents sang praise and worship songs. The faith-filled memorial honoring Kirk's deep faith in Jesus Christ. And then in sports, there were several teams that also honored Charlie Kirk at their games. They also had an opportunity for people to again, say what they wanted to say when a microphone was in front of them. I know by some of the reporters, as multiple NFL teams held tributes prior to their games and fans welcomed the moments. And as they mentioned, for the most part, it was all seen with peace. And that is what we're looking for in a world. Again, it was just a rough week, was it not? On Wednesday, the shooting. Thursday, of course, Patriot Day. We talked about remembering all those victims in 9/11. And again, as I mentioned, as you sign on and you're feeling the weight of the world, I'm just looking for what you find in hope and inspiration. People were asking when we talked about that, and again, depending on where people fell, on what side of the aisle, they said, are you also going to talk about the shooting in Colorado? It was somewhat buried in the news. And I said, of course. And it's, I look back at the beginning of my career and talking about Columbine, and it's interesting, the latest information about Colorado, if you had not heard about this. The teen Colorado school shooting suspect reportedly was fixated on the Columbine attack. Desmond Holley also expressed neo-Nazi views online before a shooting, critically injuring 2 students, and then ultimately shooting himself. He died of his injuries. Still unclear how he selected his apparent victims. The county was the scene of the 1999 Columbine High School massacre that killed 14 people. Since December, the 16-year-old had been active on an online forum where users watched videos of all this violence mixed in with content on white supremacism and anti-Semitism. The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism said in a report. The family could not be reached. The Associated Press evidently left a message at a telephone number associated with the house that police searched after that shooting. But again, as I mentioned, so much darkness. People talking about the Colorado shooting, people talking about obviously Charlie Kirk, talking about the young woman that was stabbed on the train. And that is why so many were rushed to church yesterday. 36,000 new chapters, by the way, of Turning Point. And the Instagram page of Charlie Kirk that started at about 1.7 million when he died. Last I looked, it was at 12 million. So if you don't think there's hope out there, there is, as everybody is looking for that. All right, in other news, did you see black smoke in St. Charles County and wondered what in the heck was going on? Well, it was seen in the skies, and evidently it was from a backup generator at Ameristar. According to St. Charles Fire Department, the smoke that could be seen from I-70 was caused by the initial startup startup of Ameristar's backup generators. Again, the casino had to activate the generators after a transformer fire caused an outage in the area. The substation near the casino experienced an equipment issue, caused an outage for around 250 people in the area. Ameren was able to restore the power 90 minutes after the equipment issue. So fortunately, nothing major from that. I saw a friend that was at West County Center over the weekend, and she was among many of you that were a little scared. They heard this loud noise. Now, she said she heard it and said it sounded like some piece of equipment or something falling. However, others thought it was gunshots. And with everything that's happening in the world, you can see why. The fight in the food court at West County Center led to that chaos. The investigation, of course, underway, but there are no reports of any injuries. The victim of the fight that ended up ensuing said they didn't want to press charges. The investigation of the scene determined there were no shots fired, but there was a fight near the food court. The chief said that during the fight, a chair was thrown. But again, this is the heightened awareness that everybody has because of where we are in our world. All right, we like to do follow-up news, and many of you have been asking, what happened with Boeing? Has there been a settlement? No. Striking Boeing workers rejected the latest offer. According to Boeing, the offer would have increased the average wage for union workers from $75,000 to $109,000. The contract also would have increased from a 4-year to a 5-year deal and included a ratification bonus of $4,000, but union workers have not reached an agreement with Boeing to end that strike. It was back on August 4th when around 3,200 union members went on strike at facilities in St. Louis, St. Charles, and Muscoda, Illinois. So again, it is not over. We'll, of course, let you know when there is a resolve. All right, we want to give you some positive news, some happy news about our children of the world. Look at this 9-year-old prodigy. It's just absolutely amazing. Look at this young little kid in school and where he wants to go with his life. He is studying neuroscience, and he said he looks forward to medical school. A kid in Pennsylvania. He must be a real-life Doogie Howser in the making. Already in high school, taking college classes, looking forward to medical school. His name is Aiden Wilkins, and he looks like any other kid, right? But nope, he's already a sophomore at the high school in the area. And he said, I could read them when most kids at my age at like 2 could barely even speak. I just grasped it so fast. A gifted test taken a few years later confirmed what his family had already suspected. He is a gifted 9-year-old, and I cannot wait to see. Before he heads to medical school, he'll have to finish college. His top choices, by the way, Johns Hopkins and Princeton. This kid is going to go very far in our world for sure. And did you see the Emmys? I mean, it kind of just went and passed me by. Did you see the Emmys? Did you watch the Emmys, by the way? If you did, I'm going to give you a few of the takeaways from this. I completely missed it and forgot that it was even on. But Nate Bargatze hosted the Emmy Awards at the Peacock Theater in LA. Severance leading in nominations. And by the way, he implemented a rule where Emmy winners had 45 seconds for their speeches. Otherwise, everybody that had a second over or under affecting his personal donation to the Boys and Girls Club of America. I actually like that. The winners included Britt Lower for lead actress in a drama series, Seth Rogen for a lead actor in a comedy series, and Tremel Tillman for supporting actor in a drama series. The ceremony featured a mix of feel-good moments and some mishaps, and Owen Cooper made history as the youngest ever winner in the Outstanding Supporting Actor category at 15 for his role in Netflix's Adolescence, while established stars like Catherine Lanasa, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, and Noah Weil also celebrated their first Emmy wins. It was marked by first-time winners and hosts as well, notable victories for rookie shows and actors, including Tremel Tillman becoming the first black man to win Outstanding Supporting Actor in a drama series. If you watched it, let me know what you thought of it and anything that was on the red carpet that stood out to you as well from a fashion standpoint. All right, in sports, Ricky Hatton, the former world boxing champion, has died at the age of 46. He was found dead at his home in Greater Manchester. Britain's Press Association reporting that police are not treating the death as suspicious. In baseball news, the Cardinals fortunately pulling out a win. The final was 3-2. It is the Reds and the Cardinals today at 6:45. Same two teams tomorrow at 6:45 as well. Mizzou, by the way, pulling out a win, 52-10 over Louisiana. Their next game is on Saturday, still at home. They'll be playing against South Carolina at 6 o'clock. And in your National Day of Calendar, here's how we wrap things up for you. National Online Learning Day, National Neonatal Nurses Day, National Tackle Kids Cancer Day, National Cheese Toast Day. There's a few things you can eat today. Also National Linguine Day, National Double Cheeseburger Day, and it's National Creme de Menthe Day. Oh, we could probably use that in an upcoming Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. I haven't seen that liqueur used in a very long time. That's how we do it. In the first 15 minutes of the show, we get you all up to date, and then we get into our show. Excited to bring her back. Abby, or Abigail Stahlschmidt, my guest, and she's got an upcoming concert you do not want to miss. If you missed her concert at the Sheldon a year ago, now you'll get a chance to go and see her in Kirkwood. Tickets are available. She's going to give away a pair of tickets and some merchandise as well. Can't wait to sit down and talk about music, her violin, her composing, her singing, her faith, her fitness. So much to talk about, and she's here for you to ask any questions and comments as well. Abby Stahlschmidt, my guest, when we return. She's okay, right? All right, everybody, if you have not been introduced to her, let me introduce you to what I say regularly on social media, my adopted baby sister, Abby Stahlschmidt. How are you?
It's been a little bit.
It has been. We were trying to figure out when's the last time we saw each other, and I took you to the Fox. What did we see?
Oh my goodness.
See?
Don't put me on the spot
I know.
like that.
Our brain, this is how busy we are. Oh my gosh, I do not remember, but we had a good time.
It was very fun.
We laughed a lot, I can guarantee you. We went to dinner beforehand, and then we had a good time. It is so good to see you, and no, we did not do this on purpose, but it's funny.
But we must have known.
It's right. It's in the world. I mean, it's when I was in TV, they used to always go, "Do you guys call each other?" And I'm like, "No, you just start dressing alike." We haven't seen each other in forever, but I was like, "Oh, there goes my earrings again." That's the problem. All right, if you're just tuning in and you don't know Abigail or Abby, so how do you like to be addressed?
Usually Abigail, but I guess with my friends, Abby. So you know what? You all are my friends, so it's Abby.
Okay,
today.
it's Abby. Ab. We're gonna call her Ab.
Not that. Not
I can call her Ab. I've worked her abs.
I have one ab still.
For those of you that don't know, that's how I met her. So you were 14, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, 14.
Yeah.
And it's just been so amazing to watch your career flourish and flourish. When I first started training her, we were training and she was doing modeling. And I was like, okay, is she going to model? Is she going to play music? Is she going to sing? In fact, I didn't know you sang back then, not a lot. It was more of the musical side. But it's really been beautiful to watch God guide your path. And I mentioned in the description today that we will talk faith, and we have to. How was church service for you yesterday?
So we go to my sister and I actually have been going to Matthias a lot. I guess I'm going to give them a little plug on air. I didn't know I was doing that. So they actually have small group. They call it Lot Fam on Sunday mornings. So we actually had a smaller group gathering on Sunday.
I like it.
And it was really refreshing. Of course, we had to talk about what's going on in the world. But really the main topic was, what have we seen God doing through it?
Absolutely.
And if you want me to share a little bit of
Please.
of that, honestly, I would be remiss to say what a tragedy. So many things. Of course, Charlie Kirk's death has been this past week. I think we all have felt the heavy weight of it. I have never been so in shock over somebody passing that is not somebody I knew personally, because I felt like I knew him. And I think so many of us did. But seeing, and maybe it's my social media feed, maybe I have the good social media feed.
I know what you're going to say.
Because I've actually seen from the positive side so many, especially Christian believers that I follow, that have been so fired up now about sharing the gospel and about making a difference in the world. And I think it has lit a fire. I feel that way. I feel a deeper conviction than I've probably felt in years to have a life that counts.
Absolutely.
Because we don't know when our next day is going to be.
And I don't know if some of you, and I thank you again for the people that have reached out. It was just a very dark and rough week, and we didn't know what to do with this, right? And then all of a sudden, it's the anniversary of 9/11. So I went on Friday, and it was the anniversary of my dad's death from 30 years ago. And for all of you that saw that video, I just became overwhelmed. And would I have, if that wouldn't have happened? I don't know. It was just day after day after day of so much. But what I felt when I woke up Sunday morning was, this is a new day. This is light. Just like anything, there's always light coming out of darkness. And I went to the 11 a.m. Mass at the Crossing in Fenton, and it was more packed than I've seen it. And Jim and I looked around and I said, this is very promising. Then I watched the memorial yesterday, and they talked about 36,000 new chapters of Turning Point.
Wow.
Yes. And if you looked at the Instagram page of Charlie Kirk, it was like 1.7 or 1.9 million when he passed. It's now, or last I looked, it's probably above that this morning, but I looked last night, it was 11.9 million. Wow. So I said immediately when it took place, and again, for all of you that are just tuning in, Abby and I are going to talk a little bit about faith before we get into her music. But one of the things I said, because again, all we can do with it is don't let evil, don't let the enemy win. I said, this will catapult his mission. It will catapult Turning Point. It will catapult what his wife Erica will do with this. And immediately I said, there will be more and more people that will no longer hide, but be unapologetic about their faith.
Yes. And I think he had such a unique space in not just the political world, because he wasn't even primarily a political person. And again, I'm speaking for somebody that I don't know personally, but I watched so many of his videos, and I was so inspired by how deeply rooted his faith was, and that guided everything that he did. And it more so was about letting that inform politics. And I think, I didn't mean to make this a political segment here, but it is so important to let our core beliefs come through how we address politics and how we treat other people in the world. And I think that's really what he was about. It
is. And as we bring this to a close, or you can continue to comment, I put in the description the importance of us letting our Gen Z and our millennial generation really guide, because you are the future. You are our leaders. And that is what I saw. I was smiling at every younger person that I saw in church yesterday. And I was like, Yes, this was his audience. And I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't know much about Charlie before the shooting. And now that's all I am immersed with is watching video after video. I've had people lash out at me. I'm sure I've been unfollowed. I don't care. That's okay. Well, I'll have more that will come because they want this message. That is literally what this show has always been about for the last 2.5 years. I've never apologized for my faith. We always include a devotional at the end of the show. And for those that don't want it or aren't ready for it, it's okay. It's okay. But I am so pumped up to see what is happening in this world. I really am. So if you're just tuning in, I want to talk a little bit about faith because we would be remiss to not. She's very faith-based, as am I. And it's just, it's exciting to see. And just, again, rest in peace, Charlie. And that way, I started the show talking about the memorial and then talking about the funeral that is to come on the 21st. All right. Now, let's go from faith to fitness. All right. And then we'll get into music. Do you believe that your drive for fitness allows you to do all the things? Because people watch you and go, oh my gosh, she's flying all over the world. She's doing this. She's doing that. Faith is obviously one of the biggest parts for you. But if you didn't put fitness as kind of like another religion, I don't know that you would be able to do all the things that you do and do them as well as you do.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, if we want to talk about a theology of fitness, we're making this a well-rounded segment here. Obviously, we should be taking care of our bodies.
It's our temple.
Baseline. But yes, of course. I mean, that allows you to have the energy and, the what am I trying to say? Something to draw from in order to be able to go out and accomplish a lot of things. So I'm definitely very big about fitness. I also recently joined Crunch. I'm plugging so many people today.
Atta girl.
You're welcome, Crunch. And it's got me on really early morning workouts, which I think you would be proud.
What time have you been working out?
I have been going to the 6 a.m.
Are you doing classes?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I'm doing classes. It's been the cycling class at 6 a.m., which I really enjoyed. I actually
cool.
didn't think I liked cycling.
I've never done cycling.
Yeah, and I kind of just threw myself into it. I didn't really know what I was doing either. But here we are. And yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been really, really good. And also having a gym close to me has
Yeah,
been
if you
a
don't
game
know,
changer.
Crunch Fitness, they're in St. Peter's, and then they have one in the Baldwin area where I've been going. They have one in Florissant, and then Fenton is coming. So right here in
Yes.
our area, Fenton is next. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, they're a 24-hour gym, which makes things
really nice.
really, really good. But so in these moments where we need focus, determination, that is the healthy outlet. Now, granted, I can do an entire show about the addiction of fitness, and yes, you can go a little overboard, but I would rather you turn to that than other addictions in the world.
Oh, sure.
Right? So
Absolutely.
when times are tough, do you just lean in on your fitness more?
I do, but I also, especially this time in the world has been reminding me how much I need to be leaning in on prayer. I've had a lot more prayer, like much more fruitful prayer even in the last month with some prayer groups that I've been a part of and just reconnecting with friends. I've made that so much more of a priority in probably the past 3 to 6 months. And I've seen so much growth from that. Also so much of a sense of purpose by really leaning into community and leaning into my faith even more. I didn't realize it was kind of the missing piece. Also, obviously fitness is really important too, but I really want to talk more about friendship and about community because for a long time, you've known me since I was 14. I've been slugging away at a career in various fields for a long time. And I think it's easy to make that the goal.
Sure.
And I didn't realize until a really good friend of mine was like, you need to be way more plugged into community. I was like, okay, I guess you're right. And I finally actually took the step and got really plugged in at Matthias. And I have just seen so much more joy, so much sense of purpose. Whenever you finally can take the things that you've learned and pass them on to other people.
Pay it forward.
And it's a mutual transaction too, of course. but actually being really deeply rooted in community has been like a game changer for me.
Well, it's huge. And we talked about it a lot on this show in the past couple of years, the importance of family, the importance of friends, the importance of making memories. We are very driven women, and it is very easy to just keep going until a good friend or a good family member or your husband says, slow down, because it really is when we are no longer here, and we're talking about how quickly life can be taken away, that it's not what we bought somebody, it's not how hard we worked, it is going back and saying, oh, I'll never forget that. We've evidently forgotten the show we saw, but I'll never forget the time I went to the Fox with Abby, right?
Right.
What did we see? I don't know, but we had a good time, right? It's all about the memories we
And
made.
the food was good.
If you're just tuning in, Abigail Stahlschmidt. So we're talking about a lot of things. Again, you're actually, what you're doing is you're just sitting at home catching up with us as we're catching up with each other. If you've seen some of the past shows, then you know a little bit about her. If you don't, we're going to get you all caught up with her. One of the biggest things we want to talk about is what you see right next to us, which is her music and what is coming up. I know I am so excited for you, and I am excited to tell you that I don't think we're going to Auburn that weekend, so I will get the chance to come and see you. As soon as she announced the date, I was like, oh, we're going to be going to see the Auburn-Mizzou game. I don't think we're going to. So I want to be in the crowd with you, as you are seeing here on the screen. It is coming up on October 17th, 7:30 in the evening. So how did you pick this particular establishment where you're going to be performing?
So it kind of was a turn of events, to be totally honest. But Kirkwood Performing Arts Center is obviously a really prestigious event venue. I love the location. I love that they already have such a great name in the area. But our plans actually were to have it at a different venue, which I won't name names because I'm not going to do that on air. But things fell through, and it kind of left us scrambling to still be able to put on the show at the time frame that we were wanting to and do it well. And Kirkwood Performing Arts Center actually came alongside us, and they were like, we will take care of the ticketing, we'll take care of the advertisement. You basically need to show up, let us know what you need. And I was like, this sounds like it's what I need.
That's a win-win, yes.
So, yes.
Because if you all saw her, she was at the Sheldon last year, loved it, which, by the way, I'm glad that you performed there, because living in St. Louis my entire life, I had never been there.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. But
gorgeous venue.
It was amazing. So if anybody went to that, will there be some carryover from that? Yes.
Yes, it'll be very similar. Although, I personally, as a musician, actually prefer more intimately styled concerts, and this will definitely be that. It'll be an audience of about 200, give or take, people. And it is going to be very similar in style. You hear a lot of my original music off of my EP, my Dream Machine EP, as well as some new pop and rock covers. I have some fan favorite guest singers who will be coming back to join us, which I'm very excited about, and some surprise guest artists. So
I don't even know who the surprises are. And
yes.
This is my sis.
It's going to be really a blast. So
all right, we're going to take a quick break. By the way, we will be giving one of you lucky viewers 2 tickets to be able to go to the performance. So make sure you're available October 17th, 7:30 p.m., Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. We're going to talk more about, if you've never listened to her music, what the music is all about. And again, what she wants to bring there for you, and the takeaway when you leave there, so you can spread the word about how incredible she is. Abigail Stahlschmidt, more to come.
I was just on the Real Monica Adams show, and it was really a good experience for me. When I walked in, the building is just peaceful. The environment is beautiful here. Monica really made me feel welcome.
The Monica Adams show allows people to be themselves. It's really important to share kindness, to be real, to offer stories and things that will give people hope and a reason to smile.
Rather than waking up aggravated, disappointed, and wondering, where's this earth going, choose to wake up with something that'll put your mind and your heart in the right direction. Start with Monica.
And welcome back. Thanks again for tuning in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Do me a favor, text your friends, your family members, say, hey, this is that show I want you to be watching. Again, I know a lot of people are rushing around. It's always great to see the numbers grow and grow and grow throughout the afternoon, the evening, and in the coming days. So if you can catch a little bit of it and then you have to hop off, be sure to come back because, again, you want to know about this ridiculously talented young lady. So we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on X, we are on Rumble, LinkedIn, and Instagram. All right. And the platforms can keep growing. If there's one that we are not on, just let us know. If you are just tuning in, Abigail Stahlschmidt, and we're talking about her upcoming show on October 17th at 7:30. Doors open at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And I said, if any of you had a chance to see her at the Sheldon, so there will be, as far as music, there will be some of the songs we already saw and then new ones.
So excuse me, sorry. There will be some familiar songs from the last concert. A lot of that will be mostly my originals, which you will have heard at the last concert at the Sheldon, if you were there. And there will be a lot of new pop and rock songs, which are going to be really fan favorites. It's going to be music that everybody recognizes. But I kind of want to keep those a surprise because it's really, there is going to be something for everybody. I'm a lover of film scores, so there's a little bit of that in the concert.
Okay.
And then there also is a little bit of classic rock and folk, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what that is, but...
For those that don't know your music, and if they haven't had a chance to follow your career and they're just meeting Abigail Stahlschmidt right now, how would you describe your music?
I would definitely describe myself as somebody who's very influenced by classic rock and film scores. So I kind of merge the two in my own music. I love full band, and I will be backed by full band, a small string section of about 7 to 8 players, guest vocalists. But yeah, I've always loved taking little bits and pieces of all the music that I've played over the years. I've played with an amazing Latin rock musician, Javier Mendoza. So I have a little bit of a Latin influence in some of my music. I've played with a tribute to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and my good friend Eric Struthers is going to be on stage as the band leader.
Flipping his hair around.
Yes.
They have a hair flip off.
So if you ever saw me in that band, the tribute to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, you'll kind of understand a little bit of the rock flair that there is to this music. So yeah, I draw from a lot of influences, but I also grew up in orchestra, so the base of orchestral music is definitely there as well.
So for those that have never heard you and they've been like, oh, she plays a violin. She plays an electric violin, folks. So when did you make that switch from violin as we all know it to that?
I have to plug my friend again, Eric Struthers.
Okay.
So the first time I auditioned for a tribute to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which was at Enjoy Church in Alton. I got on stage with my acoustic violin, and I was like, oh, this is not going to work. I'm watching the actual violinist in the Trans-Siberian Orchestra run around the stage and flip her hair and stuff, and I was like, this violin is going to work with that. I also wanted something that was going to be a little more stable, so my violin, if you saw it in the picture, it actually straps onto me, which is wild. And it allows me to run around and actually keep my head up and look at the audience and flip my hair.
That's a
which
must.
we may or may not be doing at this concert.
It's a guarantee.
You'll have to find out. But he actually was, well, because of that band, was the catalyst for me getting this violin, which I love the violin. It allows me to do so much.
And you have performed, if you're just tuning in again, Abigail Stahlschmidt, you have performed at many stadiums as well. So have we hit all of them in St. Louis now? You've played for the Blues, correct?
I have played for the Blues.
You have played for the Cardinals.
The Battlehawks as well.
And the Battlehawks.
Yes.
Well, the Rams were gone, so...
Yeah, I didn't get a chance for the Rams.
Have you played at St. Louis City SC?
Yes.
Oh, then you've hit them all.
I guess I have.
Look at you.
I didn't even realize.
Is there anything on your list, and I've never asked you this question, is there anything on your list, your bucket list of, as a musician, I want to do this, that you have not had a chance to complete yet? I would imagine you're so young already, but what have you not done? I mean, you have done a lot in your very young time here on earth, but what have you not done that is on your list?
There are definitely plenty of artists that I would love to tour with. On the country side, Chris Stapleton. I would love to be on stage with him. Chris Bodie is on the completely other end of the spectrum. I love so many different styles of music, but he is a phenomenal musician. Andrea Bocelli. I mean,
I just saw something with Bocelli. It was at the Vatican, I believe. Did you see that? Teddy Swims was there along with Jelly Roll.
Yep.
I don't know if you all saw that. Let's talk about Teddy for a second. You mentioned earlier, Abigail, that you love that intimate performing in this smaller theater. And again, if you ever have an opportunity to see an artist that way, and then 10 years, 20 years down the road, you say, oh my gosh, I remember when. So I'm going to give you two things. Michael Bublé, very first time I ever saw him was at the pageant. Imagine that. First time I saw Teddy Swims, barely any of you knew who he was. I had followed him on Instagram. I'm like, who is this? This guy is so soulful. Saw him at Ironworks in Birmingham, Alabama. Small little venue. So cool. And now look at him. Aren't you so proud of him?
Yeah.
But that's it. So it's the evolution of you put your music out there, your craft, and you never know where it's going to go. How has social media helped you?
Oh, it's massively helped me. Not only has it helped me be more comfortable in front of the camera and just talking to people like this on the camera, but it's, of course, helped new people discover my music. It's helped me connect with other artists. I have had so many collaborations, actually a lot of them out of the country. And one of the people that I collaborated with in Germany actually orchestrated a piece that is going to be in this concert. So that's a good segue. Shout out to Julian Scarcella from Germany. He was somebody that had me as a guest collaborator on a lot of his music recordings. So I've played some violin solos on his music, and I reached out to him and I said, you would be perfect for this project. I'd love to have you orchestrate this. What would you charge me? He was like, Abby, I'll do it for free for you.
Wow.
I was like, thank you so much. That is amazing. He is so talented. He actually specifically blends metal and classical and jazz and is just very good at merging all of those worlds. So I knew he was going to be perfect for this project. It's been really cool, though. I mean, social media allows us to connect with so many people all over the world.
Right.
So,
and I know a lot of people, I mean, social media gets a bad rap, right? So people are like, oh, there's so much negativity. It's all in what you allow. And if you don't want to see all that, then unfollow those people. Or, you know, I know that the algorithms are crazy and they'll throw things at you. You just have to be so strong within you to just block, unfollow, keep going, look for the positivity because it's there. Social media has connected us all around the world, and it's given an incredible platform to so many artists, and that's what I love. And again, you look at these people going, well, I don't know who they are. Oh, well, listen to them. Who was I following the other day? Christian artist, Megan Woods. Is that right? I'm trying to think if that's her name.
Name doesn't sound familiar to me.
The Truth. The song "The Truth." I'll look it up. Well, we'll look it up. But anyway, I actually reached out. I was like, oh my gosh, I just found you. And then I heard her on Joy FM this morning. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is what I love: is these artists that you think, oh, they're on social media, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, no, now they're on my radio. So you know, it's interesting, Abigail. When I worked in music radio, it was always trying to get the producers, trying to get to the music directors at radio stations. Play this.
Yeah.
You go back decades and shopping around with their whatever 45s. Here, will you play this? Right now, what is the best way for artists to break in and really get their name out there?
Well, I'm sure there are multiple ways. I've seen it done multiple ways. I think this has come as a natural part of what I do. I think being able to connect both my kind of my daily life and what I love with my music has been a little bit more natural for me. I also love modeling. I love fashion. I love people. So kind of allowing your personality to come out in social media and getting on lives and stories, which I could be better about. But just being able to infuse your personality into your posts and your music is so much easier with social media now. Instead of having to come out with such a polished, record label ready production, you can come to people on a more personal level, which I think is really valuable.
Well, people like authenticity.
Yes.
I mean, they want to see you all dolled up like this, and then they want to see, oh, she just woke up out of bed. Oh, she doesn't have any makeup on. Oh, wow, she's just like me. That's the thing.
Want to see that.
Yes, they do. You know what? There was a picture the other day that I saw, and this is, I want to go there because people were lashing out about Kelly Clarkson. Did she really step out of the house? Did you see this? Did she really step out of the house? She's got a ball cap on. She's got no makeup. And I thought,
That's
if you
crazy.
actually follow her, she doesn't wear makeup unless she's going to be doing a show. She wants you to see the real side of her. Ruby Lee, who I personal train and is a dear friend of mine, I love to see Ruby as real can be and see the youth in her, and then to see her all dialed up and you're like, oh my gosh, look at those eyes. Beautiful eyes. They pop when she's got makeup on. But I think it's important, especially in the industry that you're in. Beautiful. I mean, obviously she's a beautiful woman, but I'm more, and this is really going back to Charlie. Charlie Kirk's whole thing was, who are you? I want to know who you are as a character inside, right? What do you want for the world? That's what I care about. That's why she's one of my dearest friends, because of what she wants and her faith and who she is on the inside that really makes you this beautiful human being on the outside, right?
Sure.
But it is you showing who you are instead of, I'm always like this.
Right.
Then it's like, oh, well, she seems so far out of touch.
Right. No, and that is the really great thing. And I love Kelly Clarkson. If anybody wants to get me on her show sometime.
Please. Make it happen. Songs and stories.
Share this with her.
And Pink.
Yes. But, I mean, she seems like she can be real all the time, which I absolutely love. She never seems like she's putting on an act, which is so cool. But it's really when those two worlds kind of merge, whenever you finally feel like you can just be yourself in front of people and not, this glammed up version.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that is definitely a huge part, I think, of why people can be so successful on social media. I've also found so many artists through social media that I would have never known about,
Right.
Had they not had a platform there. So yeah, but I mean, going back to the heart of it, obviously, I think, having a vision even for my concert is something that I've really wanted to make a priority for this concert. I honestly feel like now that I have the last concert behind me, I have a little bit more ownership of this. I kind of know at least what the routine is, the things that maybe didn't go as well as I could have last year, things I need to work on ahead of time.
They went great, let me tell you what. But you always want to better yourself.
Yes, and I really just feel really strongly about this concert, and I haven't felt this way about a concert. Maybe it's also because it's my second concert that I've produced, and every other time I've been in somebody else's production.
Sure.
So there's a different level of that, but I do feel very strongly about this concert being not just about the music, and really being able to bring people in and really bring them into a sense of community. I mean, I'm on stage up there. I will be with so many of my friends, which is a huge blessing. The whole band is made up of so many incredible musicians, the guest vocalists, a lot of the string players are friends of mine. So it's really going to be like just a homecoming party for me.
We're all just going to sit here and watch as she parties on stage.
Yes, and hopefully feel the love too. But, and even the way that we end the concert, we ended it last year with the blessing. I really wanted to be intentional about sending people out, sending my audience out with a blessing and allowing them to realize that none of this would be possible without them.
Yep.
That really all of this my hope is to give back with this concert. I don't plan on making a lot of money. I hope that you buy tickets, and I hope you buy my merch. But I'm not planning on, getting rich from this concert. Really, my love is just sharing music with people and sharing it on stage with the people that I love.
Absolutely.
The
performance.
I hope that comes through with the concert.
It will. Again, if you've never seen her, so the performance is going to be on the 17th. Tickets are on sale. Gabriel's been dropping in for you all the information that you need to know to purchase tickets. Last I heard, I saw you do a video and you said 80 tickets were left. Is that correct, or is it less than 80
it's about
now?
80. I haven't checked today.
Okay, so purchase your tickets. I know I have clients that have bought their tickets already, friends and family. Now we get to go, so I will be there. And please stop, say hi afterwards. Abby is hanging around. You can talk with her as well. So it's Kirkwood Performing Arts Center, October 17th at 7:30. We are going to give away a pair of tickets. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Abby and I are going to talk about what do we want to ask you? Because I love when you pay attention. I like to reward those that pay attention. We also have some merchandise we're going to give away. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be along with the 2 free tickets.
Okay, so stay tuned. More with Abigail Stahlschmidt when we return. Welcome welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
So it may not have hit 100 degrees, but it was definitely hot. And a lot of you told me that you were in your pools. We unfortunately closed ours, and there should have been so many more days where we could still have been swimming. I think a lot of you had little end of summer parties, and you're ready for fall to get here. But as Beckett told you at the beginning, it's still summertime. So keep it open. Just Pools, by the way, has all the chemicals that you need to have your summer last just maybe another couple of weeks, then all the chemicals that you need for the closing. If you don't have a pool and you've been thinking about pulling the trigger, let them design and build it for you. Just Pools, they're one of our many sponsors, and we love Madonna and her team. 3987 West Outer Road South in Arnold, Missouri. Again, give them a call, and I did drive by the other day. They had 10% off, but I bet you that goes even deeper discounts as they do the end of summer sales. So give them a call, 636-464-7110. Just Pools. Again, thanks for being a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. If you're just tuning in, welcome back. And let me introduce my guest again, Abby Stahlschmidt. Her concert that is coming up October 17th, 7:30 p.m. Doors opening at 7 o'clock. Merchandise will be there for sale. Buy your tickets. Gabriel's been dropping in the link of where you can buy them. We have been dropping the slide for you as well. Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. So we mentioned there's a lot that's going to be maybe familiar to you, and then there's these wonderful surprises. So we want to give away a pair of tickets.
Yes.
Okay, this is to reward those that have really been paying attention. So Abigail Stadt, I said, you've done a lot in your career, but is there anything on the horizon that you would love to do, or is there anything on your wish list? And you mentioned some artists that you would love to perform with. I'm going to allow you to say any of those that she said. Whoever first gets it right, and we both were like, who did you say again? What show did you see at the Fox?
I don't know.
Can you tell us what show we saw at the Fox? I remember when we went to dinner. Tell us the artist that she threw out there. And in fact, Gabriel may have even dropped a tag into some of those artist pages, so you might be able to look back. But for those of you that want to drop in and you want to be there that night, make sure that you are able. No, not Jelly Roll. Good one, Kristen. Keep asking. No, I mentioned that Jelly Roll played at the Vatican. I mean, her mom's been here. We didn't say Jelly Roll. Keep guessing. You did. Rose, you're right. Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
All right, Rose.
Woo!
Congratulations. Rose, we will see you there. Rose, by the way, have you ever seen Abby perform live anywhere? If not, you are in for an incredible treat. So you have done a lot of things. Let me go to some of the things that people might not know about. This is kind of this get to know Abigail. You have a tie into the gaming industry, right? Tell them that.
Oh my goodness, yes, that is a deep cut. So
I should have put us on Twitch today. They'd be like, what?
So Lara Croft Tomb Raider Relic Run is the iOS version of Tomb Raider. And I was the voiceover for that. So I also, because of that, it was through Square Enix Montreal, and they hired me afterwards to randomly host like a Q&A session virtually online for their coworkers in Montreal, and I was supposed to dress up like Lara Croft and talk like her. I was like, this was not part of the job description, but here we are.
But okay.
And it was fun. It was fun.
So we mentioned, obviously we're talking about her incredible music, but modeling, and then you're doing a lot of commercial work. So when I look at things that are on the horizon for you and bucket list items, do you want to do acting more?
I actually have been really enjoying acting. I've been doing a lot more commercials lately, and I've had a lot of fun ones. I could go into details, but there have been some pretty massive productions on some of these commercials, And it's so much fun to work with a larger crew than I normally do with modeling. And get to see like the whole production level. I mean, one of them recently was like a massive movie production where they brought in all this landscaping and designed all these trees and brought RVs in and had a massive LED screen in the background. So it's a really cool side of the industry to be able to experience a little bit more.
Sure.
So I'm definitely loving that.
Well, and so down in Chesterfield Valley, that big production movie studio, whatever that they're building, right?
Yeah.
What do you know plans about what they're expecting to do there?
I mean, I could say rumors, but I probably shouldn't.
Trying to get the inside scoop.
I think it's going to be a rehearsal space for major touring bands coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of things. If any of you know, by the way, feel free to drop in. But it's also exciting to see, from a tax standpoint, more and more productions of movies right here in our state of Missouri.
Yeah, no,
we needed that.
That's incredible. I mean, I'm very happy
She's
to
available.
see that. Yes, I'm available. Get my number from her.
If God said, Abigail, I need you now to streamline and focus and I'm going to allow you to only do one thing moving forward, which one would you pick?
That's not fair.
Yeah. I ask the hard questions.
I mean, I have to go back to my roots. I started playing the violin at 4 years old. So music is definitely like an intrinsic part of me. I can't imagine, living life without that. So playing music, writing music, performing my music, all of that would be something that I would never be able to give up.
We never want to only have to pick one thing because we have all these passions that we fuel and feed. But, it's just a fun question, right? Okay, if you were to only be able to take one thing on a deserted island, what would it be?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I shouldn't say cell phone because that's obvious, because then I can call for help. It's so hard.
This is what, by the way, when I was in music radio, this is what we used to do with the artists. I think about interviewing Toby Keith, God rest his soul, to Keith Urban, to Garth Brooks, and all these fun little rapid fire things we would do at the end. They'd be like, dang it.
Okay, I'm thinking of the show Alone. Have you watched the show Alone?
I have not.
Okay. It's really interesting. I do not have a tenth of the skills that they have to be able to survive in the wilderness. But withstanding, if I had the skills that they have, and I knew how to hunt, and I knew how to build a shelter, like that's all good. It's taken care of. I'd bring my Bible with me.
Oh, yes.
So I'd have like something to read, and obviously have something to encourage myself with.
I'm actually glad that you brought that back up, because there are more and more people that I heard that reached out to Erica Kirk, by the way, after what happened last week, and they said, I haven't read the Bible since I was 10 years old, or I have never had a Bible in my life. It's amazing the amount of people that are going and getting the Bible. For those that have never, what would you say that it does for you?
Oh, wow. That is a huge question. I would say that it is, the Bible points us to a relationship with Jesus Christ, and that is the foundational element of all of it. But I've actually summarized this before to somebody, which, I think of it this way. The Bible is really God's love story to us as his creatures. And, we notice in our own lives constantly running from what we know we should be doing. And God is constantly throughout the Bible in every single story pulling his people back to him and saying, no, I still love you. I still love you. And again, it's this beautiful love story of, of course, Christ coming to die for sinners that don't deserve it, and him standing in our place as the only perfect sacrifice. And we were just talking about this on Sunday in Lot Family, some of the ways that we see Christ loving people throughout the Gospels. And of course, the biggest way, is laying his life down for us. No greater love has man than this, than to lay down his life for his friends.
Absolutely.
So that's really the crux of it, I think.
Have you watched The Chosen?
I've seen parts of it, yeah.
Okay, so my husband and I are watching it. We're obviously a little behind from all of you that have watched it already. I thought it was 3 seasons. I guess it's 5. We are in the middle of 3, and it's so beautiful. My husband. It's so beautiful to see him. There's a lot of people that feel like, hey, I was brought up Catholic, so was my husband, and it is amazing to see how life guides you. And to see him lit up and to profess his love for God is just one of the most beautiful things in our relationship right now. And I see him tearing up. He couldn't wait to go to church yesterday. He's like, we're going to 11. I said, I already know, but I'm glad to hear that you. And so he was, like I was doing, he was looking around and he kept like, kind of pointing over, like, look at that young couple. And he's like, I think they just got engaged, because they kept looking at a ring and they were holding each other's hands. And I think they were in their early 20s. And he said, that's it. That's the generation that just needs to light up this world again. And I believe that is what's happening. This incredible movement that I'm seeing is just a very positive. Again, we're looking for positivity and hope, and that's how we're going to bring it home for you. If any of you have any questions or comments, by the way, for Abigail, let me know. If you had a chance to see her perform, let us know what you loved. I can go with you. Yes. Let's see.
Wow, do you have the wilderness skills? I'll need that. I don't know what poisonous plants are out there.
Somebody said, let me know if you need a friend to go with. Kristen, you just need to buy your own tickets, okay? So we're going to tell you one more time.
You're talking about the show. I thought you were talking about the wilderness.
I think there's a lot of things in here. I think Frankie Cole said I can go with you. Kristen said, let me know if you need a friend to go with, which is to Rose for winning the tickets. She may. Otherwise, you just get your own tickets. You're next in line if her husband can't go. Oh, there you go. Okay. So if you have not heard, she's going to be at the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Again, it will be on the 17th of October, 7:30 p.m., doors opening at 7 p.m., and you are in for quite a treat. As I mentioned, her music is just absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait. I'm so proud of you. I really, truly am. All right, this last part that I'm going to ask is twofold. One, we always end with a devotional. So with everything that's happened, with everything we've talked about, you can tell me, I always like the guests to tell me what they feel they need to hear, and then in turn, it's what you all need to hear. 100 Days to Freedom from, ready? Fear and anxiety, those are together in this book. Shame, depression, anger, overeating.
Probably fear and anxiety would be most relevant.
That is the number one book that is chosen. So you can feel what's happening in our world. We want to break, again, from the fear and anxiety. So we'll do 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. The other is, in this amazing career, there goes my other earring, in this amazing career that you have, it is go, go, go. You mentioned coming back to community, paying it forward, the importance of all of that. I've also known you for a long, long time, and I love the fact that you said this to me not too long ago. Monica, I do want to slow down. I do want to find the man that is as devoted to Jesus Christ as I am. That is a very big, probably the most important part of what you're looking for in a soulmate, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So you need that. But I think...
Do you need me to give you my list?
Yes. This is what she's looking for. Ready? It might be you watching. And it is...
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well.
Tall, dark, handsome, long walks on the beach, talking about Jesus.
Well, that would be nice to have. The last part's a necessity. If there's somebody in maybe the production side of things that is used to working behind the camera or is, obviously loves music. You have to love music. Love fitness, love hiking, love Jesus. Got it.
Give me a call. My email address. I am going to be the person. I'm the wall that blocks you. Info at therealmonicaadams.com. No, in all serious, I look forward to that. It's really beautiful if you watch her modeling, and I'll see you in wedding dresses, and I'm like, I can't wait for the day to see what you actually choose, because you've been in some of the most beautiful gowns and veils, right?
Yes.
What is your favorite thing to model, by the way?
Probably bridal gowns.
Right.
I mean, I get to dress up like a princess, and I have the most beautiful makeup, and they do my hair in a way that I could never do myself. So
yeah. It brings, oh, there we go. That picture on the right there. It brings tears in my eyes when I see it, because I've known you so long, and it's like, I can't wait to see that. But I'll tell you what, the person that is able to marry her, you are a lucky, lucky fellow. I'm just going to stress that.
Well,
all right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, here's your 20. 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. Don't go anywhere.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
Welcome back as we are in the wrap-up of the show. If you just tuned in, you missed a great show. Again, really interesting conversation, very faith-based. We talked about music and fitness and all the feels. So go back and then share this, by the way, with your friends and your family members. Let them know about Abigail and how she's going to be performing for you. We'll let you know where you can get tickets in the wrap-up in just a second. So we picked 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety, the book that regularly gets chosen, a lot of that in the world. This is day 84 already. We only have 16 days left before this book comes to a close, and we hope that we've brought you to freedom. This one's called Connected. I want them to be encouraged and knit together by strong ties of love. I want them to have complete confidence that they understand God's mysterious plan, which is Christ himself. That's Colossians 2, verse 2. So who's on your team? These are the people you go to when you need help with something or just need to be held. Isn't it ironic that she was talking about community and coming back? You can be honest and open with them no matter what. If you don't have a team, is there a person you can trust with your anxiety and your fear? We are created for connection, yet so many of us do not have people who are part of our team. When we experience anxiety, we can be fearful of letting anyone know what is really going on in our life. That leads to a sense of isolation. Sometimes we feel like we need to be stronger. We even shame ourselves, thinking we should know how to deal with a particular problem. You know, one of the most important things we can do in times of anxiety is to actually reach out and actually ask for that help. You can build a team of people from different parts of your life to help you stay connected. Being connected, essential to your well-being, especially right here, right? Your mental health. Creating a team of safe people who you can trust and be open with may also bring you some anxiety. You might be feeling a bit awkward about asking someone to be there for you. Start by assessing who's already on that team. Perhaps you could serve on that team as well. Make it a priority to create connections and experience the support that is so vital to all of our well-being. Patsy Claremont said, there are still days I need a hand up from another journeyer, and there are still days I want to hide, since every season of life brings its set of threats. Yet because of God's mercy and grace, I press on. Donald Miller said, the soul needs to interact with other people in order to be healthy. And my deepest hunger was my longing for connectedness and friendship. Well, this is a good one. Today's prayer, Heavenly Father, help me to have godly connections with people who will journey with me. I know you created me for connection with you and with people who share my life. Thank you for your loving care for me through other people. Amen to that. Mm-hmm. See, that's fitting.
Yes, it is.
Right? That community you were looking for, that community that you have found. All right, once again, it is October 17th, 7:30 p.m., the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. Congratulations again to Rose Presley. Rose will be in the audience, and I hope that you will as well. Tell your family, tell your friends, you want an incredible night out of amazing music and discovering this artist that maybe you didn't know about. This is the night for you. And please come up and say hi when you see Abigail and myself there. Jim will be there with me as well. We're going to get a big group because it really will be an amazing night and some fun surprises as well. It's so good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Let's go to
Monica.
breakfast.
Yes, please.
Tomorrow, by the way, I want you to tune in. Can't wait to introduce you to Maria Granados. She is the woman, she and her husband actually, they started this amazing foundation called Take Part. Their daughter was diagnosed with a very rare form of muscular dystrophy, and they have this foundation that's just going to light you up. And from a fitness standpoint, there is a workout that will benefit the Take Part Foundation that's called the Firefight Her, H-E-R, Firefight Her workout. In fact, it's been so popular that they started with an 8 a.m. that got filled, 9 a.m. that got filled. They have a 10 a.m. class that is still open, and you actually do this workout the way the firefighters do in all that gear. I know, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. We'll let you know about that, and a donut run that benefits the Take Part Foundation. But tomorrow we're going to find out about the foundation itself, and then the following week we'll talk about the fitness side and how that will benefit. So excited about that. Tune in tomorrow morning. Until then, go out in the world and pass along the greatest thing you can do. kindness to anyone. Get out of your own way, meet somebody new, say hi to someone that maybe you normally wouldn't have. And it's amazing how you can carry forward the mission that he's asked us to do, and that is to be kind. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.